Welcome to the 10-Minute Mind Shift Podcast. I'm your host, Janet Cagle, certified life coach, weight loss coach, and lover of all things related to upleveling my life and yours. My goal is to help you get one step closer to your goal, whatever it is. My goal is not to keep you wrapped up in self-help all day, just 10 minutes. And who doesn't have 10 minutes, right? Lately, one of my students has really been knocked on her butt with a serious cough, chest congestion, and just feeling run down. She's on the upswing now, thankfully, but one of the things that we've been talking about as this stuff is running this course is how she can use this time to incorporate radical self-care and self-love. The other thing that we've been talking about, and so I thought I would share it with you today in the hopes that it helps you, is the need for a soul reset. In one of my previous episodes, I talked about how soul exhaustion can feel as if you're running a marathon without an end. It can seem as if you're treading water for hours in the middle of the ocean. Soul exhaustion can feel like you have no more tears left to cry, that your tear ducts are permanently empty as your spirit. If you don't know whether your soul is exhausted or not, listen on, because I'm going to talk about the 8 signs that you are exhausted down to your soul. And I'm going to give you some key takeaways to help you reset. That's what one of my students has been doing. She's been giving herself the luxury of time and practicing radical self-care and resetting her soul. And while I was researching for this episode, I found so much information supporting the notion of soul exhaustion and talking about the difference between physical fatigue and when your soul is fatigued. So, welcome to episode number 94 and Soul Reset. First of all, welcome to the podcast if this is your first episode. And hello, my friend, if you're returning. I'm so happy that you are here. Let me know you're here. You can do that by leaving me a review, or you can just shoot me a note through an email. I would love to hear your thoughts. One more thing before we get started, I have a free virtual goal setting workshop replay in the show notes. And listen, you can start planning for your best year ever right now, today. You do not have to wait for a new day, a new month, or a new year. You can start today. So if you've been around for a while, you know that I teach goal setting and goal getting in a way that you have never experienced. And you can access the link in the show notes. All right, so let's dive in. First, let's see if you might be suffering from soul exhaustion, and then we'll talk about how we create soul exhaustion, and then I'm going to wrap it up with how to soul reset. So see if this is you. Number 1, indifference. You have a lack of desire to do things. You may show indifference to everything that happens around you, even lose interest in what you previously loved and were passionate about. You might see no point in what you do, and you might become apathetic to the results of your own actions. As a reminder, this is normal from time to time, and it's your brain's way of keeping you in bed watching Hulu and eating ding-dongs. But what I'm talking about is chronic indifference. Number 2, physical fatigue. You get a full night's sleep, and yet you lack desire to get out of bed. Now, don't get this confused with how awesome it is to just lay in bed for a few minutes, soaking up the idea of starting the day. I don't know anyone who bounds out of bed except the mornings of horse show day. It's amazing how quickly I jump out of bed on those days. The fatigue presents itself like a total lack of desire and physical energy to move forward. And number 3, escaping reality. You often think about the past and are afraid of the future. The main thing is that you don't like the present moment, and you try to distract yourself from it by any possible means. You still go back to your daily routines and duties, and your dissatisfaction of life increases due to the mismatch of your current reality and your dreams and desires for something different. Number 4, extreme emotions. Becoming angry at the small stuff and a sudden onset of crying for no reason at all. Super sad and then super happy. Mood swings that are out of character for you. As women, we chalk this up to hormones and, well, just being a woman. Let's stop that today and start looking deeper inside of ourselves for some answers. Number 5, pretending. You pretend to be happy when you feel like you're dying inside. You smile, but you don't want to. In fact, you find yourself doing lots of things that you don't want to do. Number 6, feelings of aloneness. Feeling like no one understands you and that no one accepts you, and you feel like no one can help you. Number 7, a desire to hide. You may want to sit in the corner, be inconspicuous. You may feel like you are pulling back from relationships. You want to be left alone. And number 8, negative thoughts. Your brain has a negative bias, but this is different. This is a focus and a concentration of negative energy. It's just plain ick. It's ick that you cannot shake. Did you identify with any of those 8 points? Maybe all of them, maybe some of them. It might be worth thinking about a soul cleanse if you have identified with any of those. But before we do that, let's talk about how we got there. And then we're going to reverse engineer this thing. All right, so number 1, not keeping promises to yourself. You say you're going to do something for you, and then you don't. You even say this time you won't quit, and then you do. Every time you do this, your soul suffers. Imagine your child wanting something so badly, and every night you tell them tomorrow. Imagine that child being your soul. Your soul lights up with excitement, and then every day it's depleted with disappointment over and over and over again. I know that there are people who don't keep their promises to you, but that is not what is affecting your soul. It's the promises that you are breaking to yourself, my friend. All right, number 2, chronic people pleasing. You promise yourself that you're going to say no next time when you mean no, and then yes when you mean yes. Every time you do this, you lose yourself a little more into the resentment of the things that you are doing for others that you do not want to do. People pleasing is part of our brain's survival strategy to stay in good favor with the tribe. But today, people pleasing is robbing our soul of an authentic life. Number 3, FOMO. You do things for the fear of missing out instead of from your heart's desire. Fear of missing out is exhausting, and it's not tied to your heart's desire. So you are actually feeding the ego and starving the soul on this one. Number 4, gossip. Oh, and this is a good one, and I am so guilty of indulging in this. Notice how you never feel good after a good gossip sesh. And I'm right there with you. There are times I just feel this compelling urge to dish, and then it feels terrible. We are human. We all do it, but there is a price, and the price isn't paid by the person you are talking about. It's paid by you. So powerful to know this one. All right, number 5, you hang on to the past. You do this as evidence of why you can't create the future that your heart desires. It's exhausting for your heart to have a desire and your soul to not be able to pursue it. We drag our past into our goal and we smear it all over the goal and then wonder why we aren't creating our goal, and we wonder where our motivation went. We lose sight of our goal and all we can see is the past. Number 6, lack of moving the body. The body was created and designed to move. Moving the body is an honor and a privilege, and it says, I love you to you. We do not exercise enough self-love. All right, now we know how we got here. And by the way, when we reverse engineer how we got here, we know how to get better. We know exactly how to cleanse the soul. A little soul detox and a good solid reset. We know how to feed our soul. So, number 1, keep promises to yourself every single time. Start your day making little promises to yourself and then practice keeping them. One of the easiest ways I found to do this is to plan my day and then work my plan. If I write that I will go for a walk at 1, that is what I do. I don't let my brain tell me that 3 o'clock is going to be better. I just plan my day and then I live out my plan. Plan your free time, your work time, your play time, your eat time, all the things. This is living with intention, and living with intention is living by design instead of at the effect of how your day just unfolds and then gets away from you. Your soul will delight in this one. Number 2, listen to episode number 24 about people pleasing. Nothing re-energizes you more than learning how to gracefully and elegantly say no to others and yes to you. Learning this will have you on the path of the deepest expression of self-love and love for others. Number 3, practice sufficiency. When we are making decisions based on the fear of making out, we are in scarcity and lack. It's a big leap from scarcity to abundance, so it starts with sufficiency. You thinking that you don't have enough or that you are not enough will never create the result of sufficiency. Be on the lookout during the day for sufficiency that is all around you, even when your brain tries to create evidence otherwise. Number 4, when you notice another person coming to mind and you want to talk about them, only say nice things, uplifting things, kind things, or nothing at all. This is one I still have to work on the daily. Listen, we are all human, and it's human nature to talk about other humans, but there is a way to do it that is constructive for your soul and theirs. Number 5, stop dragging your past into your future. Let your future be exactly what you want, not more of the same. Let your goal have a chance this time. Allow it to come into your life. Step into the person that you are becoming and out of the person that you are now or that you have been. Number 6, finally, self-love. And I'm not talking about spa treatments and pedicures, although I love those very much. I mean true love, thoughts of true and unconditional love for the human that you are, all of your flaws and all of your quirks and all of your demons and all of the amazingness of the human that you are. This is the most important thing that you can do for your soul if it's exhausted. This is your opportunity to repair the relationship that you have with you. This will be the best work that you ever do, my friend. Listen, you do not have to figure this out on your own. A quick 30-minute mind shift might just be the thing that gives you your transformation at the speed of life. Just shoot me an email. It's that simple. All right, my friend, that is what I have for you today. And now go have the best day ever. That's a wrap. I hope that you were able to experience a mind shift of your own today. Listen, if you love this podcast, you should totally check out my Life by Design 6-week boot camp. It's a work at your own pace workshop and something that you can do over and over and over again to uplevel your results. If a one-on-one coaching program is more your jam, I am all in. Just shoot me an email and get ready for a transformation at the speed of life.